Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Alone Time, where I hop into training mode and impart upon my knowledge of either what I've been learning, what I'm trying to learn right now, some questions that I have with the character, and hopefully with you just being an audience to the magic, you get to learn something too. So in the last episode, we just went over Dizzy. I mean, obviously she released, so we just wanted to get our hands on the character. But since then, it has been, I believe, well, it's been technically just 1 day, 1.5 days. This is Saturday, by the way. So she came out Thursday. It's Saturday. I've played her for about a day and a half or so. I've been labbing her quite a bit, and there's some things that I definitely took notes on. First things first, let's talk about her tools, right? So, by the way, this is not a character overview, not a guide. This is just a training mode format. Something, I think of it as a diary, if you will. Something just for me to get my thoughts out in a sort of structured format. So some of the tools that I've noticed and how they are used are quite interesting. So first, we have Sword. Sword is strong, but it's not strong unless you've already established certain things already. So Sword is sort of a stop sign, if you will, right? It doesn't necessarily go full screen. It kind of hits here, which if you don't know, here is like a very dangerous place to really throw out something so committal. So what is ideal for it to be used in is like if you throw out a fish already and then you just kind of want to check your opponent to make sure that they're not trying to approach you as you're setting up stuff, or throw it behind this fish if your opponent's known for like swinging at them and stuff like that. Now the reward you get off this is like super strong, by the way. Let's see if I can do it first try. I can never get the second one. I don't even think it's possible to get the second one. But yeah, the reward you get off it is like mad strong. You can dead up. Whoops. You can seriously, hold on, first try, here we go. You can get full knockdown into like full corner carry. It's very good. But of course, if your opponent jumps over it or anything like that, you're kind of cooked. So yeah, there's that. Another thing, let's talk about ice fish. So these fish are way better than I initially thought they were. Not necessarily the ground one. Of course, we knew that the ground one was going to be strong. One thing I'm curious about though is that does it actually go away on hit? So if I do this and then I run up. Okay, yeah, it does. Obviously. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, what the fudge? I just noticed that May cannot span this move anymore. That's freaking crazy. I'm gonna have May jump up here just to sort of demonstrate how good the airborne fish is. Let's see. Oh, yeah, that's another thing too. The airborne fish counts backdashes as like triggering it, which is kind of nuts. I might have to switch to Chip for this one because it's kind of like hard to tell. Like, but the airborne fish goes like really high. It like goes really high, and like the thing about it, there we go. Yeah, no, the airborne fish goes really high, and the thing that's interesting about it that I originally didn't like think about was that in Exerd, right? Yeah, fish would hit you out of the air, but you would always be able to air tech. Since there's no air teching in this game, you're actually able to just pick up after them getting hit. It's kind of nuts, right? The crap that you're able to do with it. Next, we have the Firefish. Now, this move is just, think of it as sort of like Deadman's Fireball or like Elfeld's Fireball. It's really nice. It's really good. And one thing that's cool about it, hold on, let me demonstrate. This character is in fact cracked, by the way. Elfeld is really fun and broken. But the thing that's cool about it, let's see if I can do it first try. Hold on. It's kind of tough, but it does eat projectiles. Like if you're getting into a fireball war, if you time it correctly, you are able to eat your opponent's projectiles and I guess punish them for it. I'm not sure, but I don't know if did that punish. It's also really fucking hard, by the way. So don't expect to get this off. Yeah, no, it didn't punish, but yeah, it's really strong. Now I of course have been seeing the infinite, right? Hold on a second. You got the infinite, where if you're basically outside of throw range, then you're just able to kind of like mash this move and your opponent can't do anything about it. Yeah, it's fake. Just stand up against the second hit and then press 6B. It's not real. Next is Ice Spear. So now this move is way better than I initially thought it actually was, right? So it doesn't go full screen, but if your opponent like commits to like an action, so say for example, I wonder if it would even catch this. Yeah, no, if your opponent commits to an action at all, they just get fucking turbo nuked into knockdown, and then they have to just eat a fish mix up, which is kind of messed up. That joint is gnarly, bro. That joint is so crazy. That joint is nuts. Yeah, no, it's good. Next thing that you need to know about Dizzy is like her knockdown situations, right? So for example, a lot of people know 2K 2D into Fish, right? What they don't know is that there's different kinds of 2K 2D into Fish. For example, there's the far-reaching one, right? Where if you're at max range, essentially, 2K 2D Fish, right? You're not ever really going to be able to cross up your opponent, even if you do like an air dash that still hits in front. So when you're going to do something like this, you're kind of just going to want to go for another empty jump low, or if you know how to do a high option, which I personally do not, maybe if you do like a super jump thing. Okay, maybe if you go for like some super jump shenanigans, there might be a high option. But yeah, I didn't really test that out. Actually, let's do a little testing. I wouldn't imagine. Yeah, I think the problem is that like, what if you super jump? Yeah, it's just tough. It's just tough to get that. Yeah, it's hard. It's really hard. And the reason what makes it hard is that her slash comes out very slow, and her heavy slash it comes out, but like, yeah. Ooh, actually, maybe that works. Hold on a sec. Kind of tricky because you got to do like FD gliding as well. Yeah, no, it's tough, but it's not impossible. It's not impossible, but it is hard. I think the other issue is that this might just be a true block string, so it might be a moot point anyway, where like your opponent doesn't necessarily have to block the other side high, so it might not be that strong. But yeah, something to look at. Another thing too is if you are actually point blank, it is much easier to get it's much easier to actually get the fish to cross up, which if the fish crosses up, you can see you get a lot of actual like good stuff with it. Another thing to know is that after you actually freeze them, so they smack down to the ground really fast, so you're not actually able to get the same Oki as you thought you can for the other two. Like for the other two, if I'm not mistaken, on recovery they can't actually jump, right? Let's see, we're doing it live, cameraman. Yeah, they can't actually jump. Like, look, you can see they're actually going to try to jump on wake up. If you do this, they're stuck there. But if you do ice first into this knockdown, yeah, they're able to jump away. Now, not very far, the fish still triggers, which is nice, but yeah, they're still able to jump away. So what I like to do after this, say I get the ice thing, which is kind of messed up, is that you can actually do this for full screen. So you get this. I actually like to do like meaty 2K, right? In order to kind of like keep them grounded, and then I go for like a shimmy or something like that. And then the next one that you have to know is ice on the ground knockdown, right? So this obviously only happens in some situations. Like you're not gonna freaking do this. Whoopsie. You're not gonna do this and then run up and get 2K 2D. No, it really only happens from like more point blank sort of situations, right? It can still happen, but this is obviously the best knockdown you're able to get because you're able to set up into Wings of Light and Fish, and they can't really, I think they can jump, but they're going to get locked down by Fish. It's pretty strong. Now, that does bring me to the next topic. The next problem that I have with this character is that, is Wings of Light strong, right? Is this move actually strong? And now there's some issues with it, but it does have some benefits. So one of the issues that I find with Wings of Light is obviously the extremely long setup time to go into it. And now people were speculating like, oh, if you get certain mix-ups, if you get certain confirms, you're actually able to pop into Wings of Light. For example, if you get something like these combos, and then you're able to get into Wings of Light, which is like, okay. Here we go. And now this can be explored because you can do stuff like steal corner into mix up and whatever. So that can be explored. Or another thing that I kept seeing over and over and over again was like, oh, bro, if you get this, right, you're able to go into Wings of Light for free, bro. And then you're able to freaking stall for enough time. Whoopsie. I don't even know what the frick they did. That's another thing, too. None of this is done near the corner, because it would just pop them out, right? dude, this combo, and then you go into a block string, and then it sets up. It's like, bro, first of all, you weren't near the corner, so they're gonna wall break anyway. What the freak are we talking about, right? Hold on, I actually got the sort of clips with me right now. So don't get me wrong, all this stuff is important conceptually. It's important to understand the concepts of the character, but at the same time, you need to be like realistic in terms of like what you're actually going to get into a match. Dizzy is not going to get close slash into a match. But close slash is 8 frames and it's -1. Like, it's not even that good for you to be able to like kind of stagger it like that, to be able to kind of force something like that. Now, I do have some potential solutions in the woodworks, but that's just something to understand, is that you're not just going to be getting this, right? But it is good to know the concepts. So they're like, dude, if you get this, you'll do that, right? Now, this is still a good thing to know. That's good to know. Especially that last part. So this is something that's interesting about Wings, is that if you're serious about kind of implementing it into your game plan, Blue Wild Assault into throw is very important, because throw wastes a lot of time. Throw wastes so much time. Like, for example, if I'm popping a Wings of Light, and I do something like this, well, ignore the big fat counter hit, that wastes so much fucking time. Like, that, I don't even know how many, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 5 whole seconds before they're even able to get up again. So you only have to kill, I believe Wings of Light activation is like 12 seconds or something like that. That's what I originally counted. But it kills almost half of the time. And to be able to go into, say for example, you get Wings of Light, I don't know how to, let's say I do this into Wings of Light, I get this cross up, right? And I get this throw, right? I messed up. Well, see, look, Wings of Light popped anyway. So all it really takes is like one mix-up after you hit them, which Dizzy's able to set up for. And that's the important thing to know, is that Dizzy, turns out my router fell off the table, so I'm gonna have to fix that later. But regardless, what I was saying about Wings of Light. So Wings of Light is not an impossibility, right? There are ways to kind of like get into it properly, but it's just so tough. Now, these are kind of the Twitter clips that I obviously bookmarked for inspiration. For example, like something like this. I believe, yeah, this is good to know, like the cross-up stuff. Like that sort of corner steel fish thing, cross-up stuff. That's very interesting to know. I've been experimenting with that. Especially like when ice is on the ground as well. This is another thing to know. If ice is on the ground, so say for example, this is some cheeky stuff that I like to go for. Say I do something like this. I actually like just run up and throw them, because you're able to actually just get another ice wall into mix. So it's pretty good. Like, yeah, that's pretty good. Which, like, obviously works out a lot. Say if you're doing something like this. Oh, that's gonna break wall. Whatever. Say you're doing something like this. It might just be, like, of your best interest to do a freaking cheeky throw into that. Knockdown. Fish triggers, and then bing, bada, boom, you got it. Now, obviously, it's gimmicky, but it's like a super high reward for a low-risk gimmick, so it's not that big. All that's to say is that the problem for me personally is that to trigger Wings of Light, you need to get a good confirm anyway, right? That's sort of the problem that I have, right? I do have, however, some personal solutions. So solution number 1 is you pop Wings of Light in neutral, and then you could just play good neutral, and then if you get something like 2K2D, right, you're actually only like 1 throw away from having it trigger right on top of your opponent. That was kind of like speculated to me before. Like, I kind of speculated that like before. Say for example, you pop Wings of Light, and then you get this fat counter hit right here, right? You pop Wings of Light, you hit him with this crap, you do this, another knockdown into fish, and then you run up throw, right? Now Wings popped, and then you're fucking cooked, right? So that's one thing, is that you can like finesse it, sort of. You can sort of finesse it if you're playing neutral and then do it already. God forbid this happens to you. This is actually something I'm thinking about right now, sort of like brainstorming. If this happens to you and you get knocked down, right? You can go for stuff like just out of block strings. You can go for stuff like, you know, throws and whatever, which leads me honestly to my next point. So she has blue Wild Assault, right? Now this is good for setup character, right? Every setup character knows Gabby blue Wild Assault is great. Honestly, Elfo, they took it away from her. She didn't need it. She's more of a brawler anyway. But Dizzy's blue Wild Assault has a couple of issues. So say that your opponent is blocking. All right, we're gonna set them to throw, or to crouching P, throw, and then we're gonna set them to 6P. This is gonna be important for later. Check this out, guys. Check this out. After Wild Assault, right? You would think, oh, I can do fish. No, you see that? That is a counter hit. You're gonna get blown up for doing fish. Fish is not. It's just not fast enough, right? It would be nice. Fish is not fast enough. And then the question then begs. Or then begs the question. I said the question then begs. What? Well, can I do this? It's like, sure, but I don't think it's that, like, you're not enforcing the best situation that you can. For example, right? If you're doing this, it's better to kind of just do it raw and then go for a throw because of the guard crush property, making your throws like essentially like untechable, or like you have to either tech the throw or jump or like hold up. And you're kind of losing that when you're doing this, right? You do this. Yeah, they're another character length away, and you don't have that sort of throw situation. So what's the point? And so now it comes down to wings. Wings, if you did not see, that was a true block string. She's able to true Gatling into wings, right? Or frame trap from wings. And profit. Now, this seems really promising at first, but it does come with an issue. Say your opponent wants to throw you, right? Your point blank, your opponent, forget it. Your point blank, your opponent wants to throw you, right? Here's the issue. If I wanted to, say I wanted to meet you with close slash. Uh-oh. Oops. Oh no. Boy, that's gnarly. So close slash is 8 frames. I don't know the exact math, but essentially it's not freaking fast enough to actually counter hit off of wings activation. So it's like, okay, well, let's try another button. So I tried to experiment with 2P and it worked there, right? But check this out. There is a fucking 1 frame timing to actually hit. I can't believe I got it twice in a row, but it is a specific 1 frame timing to actually make sure it counter hits, right? So if you do it too fast, it's just a true block string, which freaking sucks because then there's no mix up. If you do it too slow, you get fucking yoinked up. And why do you even want 2P in the first place? Well, let's see if I can get it like raw dog right here. Well, it doesn't even fucking matter anyway. So then all that leaves is honestly 2K. Now 2K works every single time, but 2K Narwhal, hold on a sec, 2K Narwhal does not lead into ice, which freaking sucks, bro. That freaking sucks. Why does Narwhal not lead into ice? And also, I did not know, but actually Narwhal does have an entire guard crush property to charge it up. Was not aware of that. That's kind of freaking gnarly. So here's the current vision, right? Here's the idea. You can do a few things off of this, right? You can do 2K, oh, hold on. You can do 2K 2D into knockdown, into left-right shenanigans, right? Or what I like to do sometimes is you can shimmy the FUD out of them, go for knockdown, and then basically the next block string, in a way, will kind of like cement a lot of the solutions to your problems. Or you could do something cheeky like this, for example. Backdash, shimmy, boom. Yoink. Yoink them up out of the corner, specifically. Into icicle. Oh, just kidding. Not into icicle. Do this. Shimmy. Boom. Ice. Little sneaky weaky. Do that. Another ice. Into knockdown. And now wings is triggering right in your opponent's face. Bing bada boom. Profit. Okay? Just to note, if you're shimmying your opponent, it's better to go for close slash. Because yes, you can go for 2H. Right? But you're so gosh darn far. It's hard to really like get up to your opponent's face without wasting more resources. And usually the ideal cancel is wings activation, but you don't want to unactivate wings in order to get like this subpar nonsense. So yeah, there's that. Now you can do like micro dash 2H, and then you can do something like this, which is nice. And it breaks the wall. You do this, and then you go for a mix there. Obviously, she's scooping me up, but you know, there's that. Problem is, if your opponent's got meter, right, they're more inclined to react before you're able to get your 2H off. Like, so they might like whiff and then like RC if they're higher level, right, or just not. Thing is too is that you can actually just go into a throw, right? So if you go into throw here, there's a couple of options for you to do. One is to go for this into high or low, right? You can do this into high low, or you can do fish. But if you do Oki off of fish from throw, you're not really gonna get much. What you do get is this, which is very nice. So you actually get sort of a double shimmy. So you get sort of a double shimmy. If usually, like, if you do the air dash or the ground dash, they're gonna try to like mash. Like, oh, I'm gonna mash. He's in my face, and then you can like frame trap them or go for another shimmy or stuff like that. Or you can actually do this, which is pretty funny. You can do this into another throw. Now, ideally, if you're trying to go for fish Oki, you kind of want to dash like halfway, not point blank, but sort of halfway, like. Oopsie, hold on, here we go. I got it this time. You with me, cameraman? You want to dash halfway so that they don't just wake up throw you, and that's pretty gosh darn obnoxious. However, if they are going to wake up throw, there is a solution that covers everything. Note, this does not work in the corner. I found that out the hard way. I was very, very annoyed yesterday trying to do this. So if you are point blank, you can actually just do meaty this thing, and that actually covers mashing, it covers reversals, it covers wake up throws. It's super, super good. Thing is, tracking is not great in the corner. I don't know why. Tracking is just not footing great in the corner. Oh, it worked that time. Holy cow. I don't know if it's character specific or what, but I was getting yoinked up. I was getting mad. Now, I'm gonna give you out a secret sauce, okay? I'm gonna give you guys a secret sauce, all right? This is not necessarily a tutorial, just something I learned, you know, just something I learned. I'm gonna give y'all the secret sauce. We're gonna have them mash throw. They're gonna be guarding. Check this out. This is the secret sauce right here. Okay, it's gonna take me a few tries. All right, just hang in there. Yes, sir. Now that's the secret sauce right there, boy. That's the secret sauce right there, boy. You see that? Okay, so what the frick is that? For those of you who are uninformed, there is an input. Hold on, let me just show you guys my inputs just so that you can sort of follow along easier. There is a technique that can be done by most characters in the game, not every single one of them, or I would say about half the characters in the game, where it's sort of a very fast BRC overhead, right? Now, some characters can take advantage of this better than others, right? But ultimately, what it does is that at least for an extremely fast instant overhead, that gives you a really high confirm. Now, the thing is that it's pretty freaking hard to do, right? As you can see, I'm not that consistent with it. Here we go. So what the input is, if first of all, use a dash macro, all right? Don't be a sociopath. I think you need the dash macro for this, in fact. The input is dash, back, RC, 5K. Right? Or 5P, depending on your character. So, dash, back, RC. So, that's the dash, back, RC, right? But, it's... When you do the RC, you cannot be holding the back. That's the messed up part. It's like dash, back, release, RC. Dash, back, release, RC. I don't know why this is a thing, but it is. No clue why, but it is. All right. So Dizzy in particular gets to take advantage of this because it solves the problem of how the frick do you get this like meaty close slash bullcrap to happen in the first place. Now she could just do it raw off of BRC and like have like a bunch of leniency to input the move, even though I still suck at it. Now, why does it work off BRC? Don't ask me. I'm not too sure. Well, actually, I know why it happens. It's because off BRC, you're actually able to cancel BRC into back dashes, not into forward dashes. This takes advantage of you essentially buffering an input of a backdash, right? Don't ask me how the fuck did that work, but it works. So ultimately, what this allows you to do is that this allows you to cover. Say they're gonna mash 5P, right? They're mashing 5P. This covers. Oopsie. Oh, I just learned something. It doesn't cover 4-frame jabs. That's interesting to know. Freaking privileged 4-framers, man. I was testing this out the other day on Kai's jab, and it definitely stuffed that out clean. It definitely covers like 5-framers though. Doesn't beat Elfo's jab? I guess Kai's jab's just bad. What the frick? Wait, what's going on here? Uh-oh, it might not be as strong as I thought, folks. I mean, mind you, it's still very strong. It's still strong, but I'm shocked. I wonder. Hold on a second. Research time. Oh, fudge, they're both 5 frames. So am I just bad? Well, whatever. I'm not good at it enough to actually like do it raw dog like that. So for now, just know that this is concept. I can't even do it off of them just regularly doing that crap, bro. Holy frick. All right, here we go. Jeez, what flooded weed. Conceptually speaking, I messed up. Conceptually speaking, in 20XX, as we would like to say, that's going to be pretty gosh darn strong. Well, I was meaning to go over some other things, but this video is already like nearing 30 minutes long, and little baby shit going on. Look at the little sneezy baby. And yeah, this is just my notes, my diary, if so to speak, my little training log. But anyways, if you like the content, please get it subscribing and turn on the bell. Blah, 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 blah. Y'all in the next one. Peace.